So something's been bugging me about Spongebob Rehydrated, and no, I don't mean Robo Patrick's face. I'm referring to the collector's editions. And is the ridiculously high price taking things a bit too far? Let's take a look. How's it going, everyone? Blueknight here, and welcome back to another Spongebob Rehydrated video. So recently we got a few new trailers and screenshots for the game, which I spent the past two videos talking about in a great amount of detail. If you haven't seen them yet, then I recommend checking them out. But with this sudden spike in buzz surrounding the game's launch in June, it's also brought some attention back to one tiny detail that's not even in the game, that I only ever briefly mentioned on this channel, and that is the collector's editions, also called the shiny and fun editions. Like any other type of collector's edition, you get a bunch of goodies with the game. Sounds great, right? Well, at least until we look at the price tag of $150 for the shiny edition, which includes socks, lithographs, stickers, and an 8-inch SpongeBob statue. This in itself is ridiculously overpriced, especially considering that this game is $30 by itself. Technically speaking, everything else I just mentioned is apparently worth $120, basically $30 a piece, including the socks, which were being given away at PAX East back in February for free, now being sold on eBay for even more ridiculous prices. This isn't even the tip of the iceberg. Well, it'll probably be sinking after you hear this next part. Apparently, the fun edition of the game includes everything that the shiny edition has, in addition to a statue of both Patrick and Sandy, a display box, and 5 Tiki keychains, all for a whopping $300. What? Look, a couple of months ago, I managed to get a Switch Lite, Crash Insane, and Spyro Reignited, all for around $260, and still had a bit left to spare for something else. A way better value. I'm honestly still as baffled about this as I was months ago when these editions were first announced. Oh, and don't worry, THQ Nordic made absolutely sure to do the same with her other remake, Destroy All Humans. Exception being, the bigger edition is $400. And I'm like, hold the phone, THQ. I get that you're remaking classic games to bank on the nostalgia that people have for these classics, just as Activision has with Crash and Spyro, and PlayStation with Medieval. But isn't charging this much for what little you actually get, while the statues are pretty debatable, isn't this taking banking on nostalgia a little bit too far? Especially since the base game alone is $30, and we're not getting new voiceovers from Mr. Krabs, but we're getting a remastered soundtrack? Let me put it into perspective by using the concept of good and bad ways of banking on nostalgia, which was going to be a whole video on its own, but now it's the perfect time to bring it up. So the good way of banking on nostalgia is like Activision or PlayStation remaking or remastering Crash, Spyro, and Medieval from the ground up with today's graphical fidelity, along with other changes. Anything extra was absolutely free, whether that was pre-order bonuses or DLC. This is also true with Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled, where we got months worth of content free of charge in the form of monthly Grand Prix, all for $40. That was the best move they could have possibly done. Yeah, there was the Nitrous Oxide edition, but it was like $15 more, and you get a few pins and unlock certain pieces of in-game content immediately as opposed to playing to unlock said content. The base game for Rehydrated would be following the same path as Crash, Spyro, and Medieval did. If it wasn't for THQ taking this bad way of banking on nostalgia with these collector's editions, it looks like that these editions are not going to do all that well because of it, while the base game would be likely getting the vast majority of the sales. Now, unless they drop the prices to a considerable amount, like the shiny edition down to $100 and $200 for the fun edition, then maybe I could see better reception and performance towards these editions. But until then, I don't particularly support how this is being done on THQ's part. I'll get the base game alone for the Switch and review it, and that'll be about it. As far as the current state of these editions go, I'm not sold on them because primarily I can't even afford them if I wanted to. If you already got one of them, that's fine. I hope you enjoy what you get. Anyways guys, I'm going to go ahead and stop right here because I think that I've ranted quite enough about this whole thing. But what do you guys think about this? Think this is a bit too far on THQ's end? Or are you getting one of these editions regardless of the ridiculously high price? Be sure to let me know in the comment section below, and be sure to stay tuned to the channel for even more Spongebob Rehydrated related content coming your way. Once again, thank you all so much for watching and supporting the channel. I've been Blueknight, and I'll see you guys back here next time. Goodbye.
What?